Time to crack another cold one. Oh, that's delicious. That's Greek right there. That's Greek right there. All right, y'all. Welcome to another show. And I am the honest hobo. And it's about time to get into it today. So once again, welcome back, everybody. I appreciate y'all spending your time with me so I can get out there and say what I need to say. And hopefully I can help, educate, and kind of push people into the right way. So today, what we're going to talk about is that time in life when you sit there and you ponder, like you're in a relationship, and you're there for a while. This ain't no pump and dump. This ain't no grab and slap. You're just it's been a little while, and then you start reminiscing about the past and thinking about the future, and you kind of like look at the person standing next to you, sitting next to you, and then you ask that question: is she the right one for me? Now I know if people been there before, and if you have not been there before and asked that question, is she the right one for me? That's because you're probably like a deadbeat and you're using her and you're getting everything from her. So in that case, she should be asking, is he the right one for me? But that's not what we're here about. There's a bunch of feminist channels that you can go listen to, and they'll be more than happy to call in. Right now, I am talking about males' welfare and the best situation for them to make decisions to better their lives. Now, the question is she the right one for me? Now, we're going to go over 8 things that are what you consider like red flags that will let you know if she's the right one for you. But once again, don't take this personally, because these red flags doesn't mean she's not just right for you. She's not right for anyone. I mean, this person is not the kind of person anyone wants to be in a relationship with. So this is not really about if she as a female is a bad person. It just means she as a person is just a bad person, and she's not going to do anyone great. And if you'll see, because I get a lot of feedback every time I say certain things, people are like, well, guys are like that too, like that too. Hey, fine. If you can learn anything from this, you go ahead and take it. Maybe you need to go back home and look at your man and be like, yeah, is he the right for me? But like I said, right now, we're dealing about men's issues. Okay, the first one is the most important one. She does not appreciate anything. Now, once again, when you come into a female's life, you should be bringing something to the table. If you're not bringing anything to the table, then you are a deadbeat. You are a user. You are a user. Now, when you are bringing something to the table and you do it, I mean, a lot of people have different resources and, what they bring, what they have, and what they don't have. But the point is, she doesn't appreciate anything. She doesn't appreciate anything at all, even the small things. And if she doesn't appreciate the small things, she won't appreciate the big things. Like, she might not even consider that you are paying half her rent. You are helping out with her kids. You are making sure that you're there, and you are being supportive to her. Yes, is someone gonna, like a lot of times, women want you to be up under them and kiss their ass pretty much 24/7, and you shouldn't do that. They should appreciate that you give an effort. They should appreciate that you give them the time, because you're nobody's slave. So anything that you give them, you do because you want to. And if they don't appreciate that, no matter how small, then they're not worth your time. The second one, nothing is ever her fault. And I know you have met people like this. Like, nothing is ever her fault. She's always the victim. Even when she decides to do something, she decides to go somewhere, and she decides to interact and do whatever she wants to do, when the outcome does not work, it is never her fault. Now, that's not a good thing, because in your relationship, you will always be wrong. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be wrong, but that's where the frustration comes, because even though you're not, she's not going to say she's wrong and take fault. So therefore, she's always going to try to manipulate, make you feel like you're the wrong person, and that's not healthy. Okay, next one. She keeps a tight leash on you. See, that should never happen. That should never happen at all, ever. Anyone who tries to keep a leash on you is not trying to have a relationship with you. They're trying to own you. um, they really just see you as an object. They don't see you as a person as that they're interacting with, and they're socializing with. They're pretty much, you're just there, you're an object, and they're pretty much just trying to tell you what to do. Pretty much they're trying to be the puppet master. Okay, the next one. She's not consistent. I really don't even know how to explain that one. It's just that the best way I can explain it, say what you mean what you say. Don't say one day and the next day you turn it around. And then it's really messed up. When you do turn it around, it's to benefit you. You can literally say something one day and do one thing and stick by it. And then the next day, you're totally turning around. Dealing with a person like that, it's not a healthy thing. So you just go and get away from that. Okay. Now this one is kind of throws me off, but you're the only person that she's nice to. But my thing is that if she's treating you, if the four things that I just brought up, that she's treating you that way, she's not being very nice to you. And if that is what you consider nice, then you should just run away anyway. Because if she treats anybody worse than that, I should just let you know, red flag, get out of there. She's a waste of your time. Okay. Next one. She feels entitled all the time. Like all the time. Now, there's nothing wrong with you feeling like you deserve something. But that's once you put the work into it. If you don't put any work into it and you just show up and you think everything's supposed to be done for you, you think everyone's supposed to accommodate you, nah, you really don't want someone like that. Because that goes back into the whole thing. You know, she wants to keep you on a tight leash. You belong to her. And whatever she wants, you supposed to do. Without question. Okay. Now, the last two I'm going to put together because they kind of go hand in hand. You argue way too much. Okay? And the next one is your vision of the future is not even close. Now, the reason I'm going to put these together is because the reason people argue is because their perspective of life is not the same as the other person. So you can try talking, which you should, and then maybe you go to a debate. But when it gets down to it, you're going to start to argue. And the reason you're arguing is because your reality doesn't fit the other person's reality. Now, going into the next one, your vision of the future are not even close. So that means if you have something that you want to do in time, that means you're doing stuff now to prepare for that. The same as the other person. Now, if the futures are not even close and the perspectives are not even close, you're going to argue with the other person to try to agree with you so they can go down the path that you want to go down. And the other person is doing the opposite. Now, that should be a red flag. You know what? I won't even say that's a red flag. That should be fireworks. It's time to go. Now, this is really quick, really fast. And if you take the time out to really think about the 8 things that I brought up, then you can determine if she's good for you or not. Now, this doesn't mean she's a bad person. It just means it just doesn't click. And you can't fit a square peg into a round hole. Or at least you shouldn't try. But if you do, it's your fault. Because these are the flags. And if you get screwed over and you get played and you get manipulated and you end up at the end of the relationship with nothing, the only thing I can say is you're going to be a hobo like me. But at least I'm honest about it. Y'all have a good day, and I will talk to you later.